Ketchup or mayonnaise, people? Yeah, definitely mayo. I used to be ketchup. Now I'm converted to mayo.
They're really louder than that.
Did we need to redo that? Or is... That's okay. Am I talking to the camera? This is more nerve-wracking than singing. There you go. Hi, my name is Amber Prothero and I'm a pop soul artist from Chester originally, but now I'm living in Manchester. And this is my new single, Wishful Thinking.
But it's all that I say. Wishful thinking. I try. But it's all that wishful thinking.
So this is my new single, Wishful Thinking, which I wrote about 6 months ago with a very close friend of mine, Chris. We wrote it when we were both very much in a very negative mental headspace, and it's kind of about the music industry and how tough it can be sometimes as an independent artist, which is something that I do talk a lot about on my socials, my Instagram, my TikTok, just about the struggles really in terms of being independent, wanting to release music, wanting to, I guess, get in touch with labels or people that kind of help you in terms of funding and coverage and all that kind of stuff. And very often feeling like you're screaming into a void, and there are people, millions of people like yourself trying to do exactly the same thing, and it can just get quite tough mentally. And it just so happened that when we wrote this song, Chris is a writer and I'm obviously an artist and a writer, and we were both very much in that very negative headspace of, oh, I just don't think I can do this anymore. And that's how the whole song came about, and the title Wishful Thinking. It's kind of wishing that maybe the system was different, I guess, and just trying to keep fighting and keep going every day. So I think my journey in the industry so far has had a lot of ups and downs, as has, as I say, 1,000 other artists in the industry that are trying to make it, whatever that means. My experience, as I say, with a lot of ups and downs, there's been a lot of lessons that I've learned over the last 10 years of releasing music, kind of under my own name, under my own, like independently. But I have learned a lot of things, I think not just about music and the music industry itself, but a lot of life lessons about just perseverance, being nice to people. I think that is always a thing that I, like, people always remember a first impression, and I think that's something that has been very important in my kind of career so far in the industry. I felt like if I treat people with respect, they very often do in return, and so you create a lot of amazing relationships with people. And I have a very small team of people who's kind of stuck by me, whether that's constantly or in and out of my life over the last 10 years. And it's down to those people that I'm still doing it, and I'm still persevering and trying to keep doing what I love, which is essentially writing and making music. So I think advice I would give my younger self or someone else wanting to come into the industry would be trust your gut, first of all. Very often in the past I've ignored my kind of better judgments, shall we say, and it's always turned out to be, should have listened to that instinct. So I think listen to your instincts. And also something that I wish I had told my younger self is a couple of things. First thing is, don't be afraid to be a bit ballsy. Like, I was always way too nice, and always, because I'd been raised to be polite and, you know, oh, we've got to be nice to people and say thank you and not push people too much. Actually, that is the opposite of what you should be doing in the music industry. Unless you are banging people's doors down, they don't give you the time of day. So I think be more ballsy, and yeah, I think that would be my main piece of advice. So when we created Wishful Thinking, it was on a Zoom session. My friend Chris and we wrote it, as I say, about 6 months ago. And I think, unluckily at the time, but luckily for the song and for the creation of the song, we were both very much in the same headspace, which was just kind of feeling really beaten down. Quite a negative mindset at the time, very emotional as well. And I think that was how, in just those 2 hours that we wrote the song from start to finish, it was just a kind of outpouring of all the shit, essentially, that Chris and I have dealt with retrospectively in the industry. Yeah, that's how the song came about, was just our experiences. Another thing I think about the song that is amazing, if I do say so myself, is that as much as it was written about the industry and the struggles and all that kind of thing, it can kind of be read and listened to and interpreted in a lot of different ways. It's not, you know, oh, the industry, we hate the industry. It's not like that. It's just like, you know, this is a struggle, and a lot of the lyrics and the kind of words that we used essentially, I think, can be interpreted and seen in a lot of different scenarios. It doesn't just have to be, you know, within that music kind of space. So yeah, I think a lot of people, or I hope a lot of people, will listen to it and will take something from it, even if it's not related to that subject. So I'm excited about it. So my name is Amber Prothero, and you can find that everywhere. I'm Amber Prothero on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, wherever it is. So please go find me and listen to the song.
But it's all the same. Wishful thinking. How I try.